Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Yes This Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. And today I decided to do a blend of a cappuccino with Starbucks hot chocolate and some hazelnut creamer. So that's what I'm drinking today. So hopefully everybody's had a really good weekend and you're back on Monday. Hopefully you have a few minutes to stop by, chime in, and see what the brew is about today. So if you are chiming in, hey, just come in the comments and say hello. I can really use some highs today. Feels like a weighty Monday. It's raining outside, it's gloomy, and that's how it feels today. So I can use a little sunshine, a little pick me up. Yes, so just stop by and say hello. Let me know what you're drinking. And I see that my internet doesn't like the weather either. I don't know. It's one of those days, though. Here we go. All right. So today's brew is about your perspective creates possibility. All right. Are we good? Are we good? I see I'm a little staggered, jumpy, but hopefully the internet will pick up. I don't know what's happening. I'm not going to keep you long today. But yeah, even closing everything out is still as a lag. But nevertheless, we're going to get through it and we're going to see what happens. Through is your perspective creates possibility. All right, so what you live through is not random, it's resource. That's how I look at things. You know, I don't know. And it hasn't synced up yet. Unfortunately, there's some things you just don't have control over. One of them is your internet. It's right to, and then it does what it wants to. That's how I feel right now. So I'm not that because it's enough of that already, right? I really want to get through this message. I think we are in sync right now. So let me not waste time. Let me get right through this message. Your perspective creates possibility. All right, so what you live through is not random, it's resource. Your perspective is not just how you see, it's how you build. And when I think about even the weight of whatever one may be dealing with, including myself, listen, I'm a part of this conversation also, right? And so I feel, like I said this morning, I feel a little heavy this morning. It feels very weighty today. And that's because when you're up against some things, that you personally feel are unfair, unjust, it brings about a weight on you. So, but I tend to turn those things around and really see how they can become resources. What is it that I can take away from it? What is it that I can learn from it? Good morning at the River 772. Good morning. Thanks for, what? Sometimes it's encouragement and just a good morning. So thank you. Thank you. So, but in today's message, your perspective creates possibility. I always look for the silver lining in things. You know, I don't care how bad it may look, what the outcome of it may be, is what is the good I can find in it, right? And even with that, how can I then take that and then use it to help someone else that may end up going through something similar or may end up just needing word of encouragement, guidance. So that's how I tend to look at things. So let me finish in this message today because, like I said, my internet's doing its own thing. I don't want to keep you long because I don't want to start acting crazy again. Right? So, but I do appreciate you stopping by for a little bit of morning brew, coffee and conversation, or whatever you might be drinking. So, good morning, Leslie. Always good to see my sister chime in. As we're talking about your perspective creates possibility. And so let's get into our pour into purpose segment really quickly so we can kind of break some things down pertaining to that, okay? All right, so see value in your experience. See value in your experience, whatever that experience may be. Always look for the value in it, okay? Don't just focus on the problem. Don't just focus on the stressful part of it. Don't just focus on, the part that you feel is trying to take you out of here. No, I want you to see the value in that experience, good, bad, positive, negative, whatever it may be. What you went through holds answers. Pain can become process. Your story carries solutions. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Wanda. Guys, you know what? Thank you for chiming in and just letting me know you're there because Sister Girl just need a little encouragement today. It's Monday, it's feeling a little gloomy, and I guess this message is for me because I'm so all right, so let me get back into the message as my internet is doing its own thing, and you may find it's freezing up. Not sure if the audio is still coming across clean and clear, but yes, seeing value in your experiences, and so that's how I'm going to focus my energy. So you know what? As I always say, let's take a pause so we can pour into purpose. But even in my own personal experiences, I'm going to find the value in it. hmm So let's continue with point of purpose. Create from what you know. Create from what you know. Your lived experience is intellectual property. You probably never looked at it from that standpoint, right? I really hope my internet syncs because I think there's some valuable juice and I hope it comes across. It's coming across, but as I'm looking in my studio at my preview, I keep seeing my internet signal, the video freezing up. So I hope that's not coming across. But nevertheless, we're going to fight through though. Create your lived experience is intellectual property, IP. That's something that I teach, I express, I really share in my ecosystem of Morning Brew with Germaine, HOV Publishing, HOVP Academy. Really, how you turn the power of your story into your now intellectual property. So, our new our new brand that we are rolling out from our teaching standpoint, and it's what I do pretty much over the 18 years with helping authors write, publish, profit, write, publish, profit, intellectual property. When you write it, you're creating your intellectual property, your IP. You may hear it as IP, right? When you turn it into a published book, it's definitely a piece of intellectual property that you can now go and profit from, make money from. All right. So let me continue to pour a little more purpose. What came naturally to you can serve others. What is that niche? What is that niche? That thing that comes natural to you that you then turn around and you help serve others. When you think about people you engage in, when you think about even the businesses you may work for, what was their niche? What is their brand? Because they're literally taking something they created, right? Made it their IP, their intellectual property, and then they turned it into a brand, a niche market, something that they can now share and serve the world or communities. Think about you, yourself. Hello over on Instagram, Patty Funnit. Thank you so much for chiming in. Yes, I am looking for encouragement today. Yes, just by showing up in the comments and letting me know you're there. I appreciate you. So, but I want you to begin to look at yourself as intellectual property. The very things you create that comes from you. Before you worked it into a deal and you shared in that intellectual property with someone else, you know, but the very things that are in you that you can create to now be able to help serve others or allow others to benefit from it. So let's continue to pour. You don't need permission to build. See it, believe it, and just let it manifest for you, right? So when I think about what I do in my ecosystem, or my platform is really centered around the power of one story, and everybody has one. Everybody, even the child, like I said on in another episode, even a child, as they're being reared up, as they're gaining experiences from the infant stage, toddler, adolescent, but as they're growing to adulthood, guess what's happening? Stories are being cultivated on their journey that can then turn into what? Intellectual property. Write it, publish it, profit. And it is going through trademark process right now. So, but yes, that is the next teaching. That is definitely the next book that's coming forth, to be able to help serve people and where they are. And it's not, the one thing I love about what I do is because there are so many fascinating stories that come across my desk, conversations, extraordinary people I have met that were willing to share stories. It's like a rainbow, so many different colors, you know? It's like its own DNA, people's stories, their lived experiences. And I get so much joy out of being a part of someone's journey. So, okay, turn insight into income. Problems you solved can become products. Be a problem solver. See, the thing is, we have to learn to pay attention to what people are saying, and they're looking for insight from you. Pay attention, because in that you can become the solution to their problem. And I hope this is coming across, because I see myself freezing up again. So, all right. And this is such a good morning brew today. It is. It is so inspiring me right now. Yes, it is. It's such a good morning brew. And the internet want to do its own thing. Yeah, I need a sip on that one. I'll take another one. So remember, this morning brew today is your perspective creates possibilities. Your perspective creates possibilities. Internet, get it together. See, I'm speaking life into my own internet right now because this message, I believe, is a powerful message that's really helping me, allowing myself to actually see everything we go through is purposeful. Everything we go through can be used and create possibilities. Yeah. All right. So turn insight into income. Problems you solve can become products. Did you hear that? Problems you solve can become products. Well, yes, a book is a product and different things that can come from that book. So I want you to think about this one book, one story, the power of one story can become right off the back a paperback, a hard case, and an ebook, and some people will turn it into an audible audiobook. That's four products from one story. One story just became four products. Four products, one story. Okay, are you with me? I want you to stay with me on this because you don't realize the power of what you carry. But a lot of times we get stuck on the problem and we don't see how rich we are. We get stuck on the problems that we may be facing, the financial burdens, the workspace problems of, I don't know how long I may be here. And we don't think about the richness in all the information and data that has been collected over time, the education, the teachings, the resources that we've been able to harness over time in this life's journey. We don't realize how rich we are and how that one story, when I say one story, I'm looking at you as a whole, you as an individual, and you have one story somewhere in you that can become your intellectual property, that can become products, it can become solutions to someone's problem. Products can be created. So out of one story that niche, whatever it is, can be turned into a book. You can write it, it can be published, and and you can profit from it, right? But that one story is now a paperback, a hard case, an ebook, an audiobook. Those are four different revenue streams right there. One story. Okay. I hope you're getting something from this. I am. I am. My mind is like turning from weight to creative right now. Okay. So let's look at, as we come to a close on the Pour and the Purpose segment, um, perspective creates positioning. Perspective creates positioning. Start seeing yourself more than you do. Start seeing yourself as an answer out of whatever your problem situations may be. Start seeing yourself like that. Okay. All right. Strategy turns experience into revenue. Strategy turns experience into revenue. I just use the strategy of the power of one story. I use that strategy. Start analyzing, what is your story? What is my niche? What have I learned that I know better than most people, that now people can benefit from that? That people may want to engage in that, that people may want to invest in that. What is it? Listen, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to give you an opportunity, if you have not done so already, to join me over in the school community. I'm going to invite you in. Listen, it's free access. I want to invite you in because if you don't understand the power in your story, guess what? I want to be able to show you and help you get full clarity on that. Fair enough? And our Builders Lab is open. It's open right now, and you can go in for free. My gift to you at any time to start getting clarity on what it means, the power of one story for myself. It's available to you, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up on the screen, but I'm also going to put in the comments. I'm going to put in the comments how you can join for free. Yeah, I am, because some people are on millions and don't even realize it. But you're in search of millions right now, not realizing you're sitting on them. Yeah. So let me share the link, because I don't want you to miss the opportunity of joining the community and finding out more information that can really help benefit you. Okay. And this is me sharing. I'm a giver. This is me sharing. Okay. All right. So let me bring this all to a close. But yes, make sure you join Morning Brew. It's scrolling across the bottom. I put it in the comments. All you have to do is click the link. If you find any value in today's message, also, you know what? Hey, you can, if you're on Facebook, there's a little star up there. So I'm frozen again. I don't know if you can even hear me. I hope you can hear me. Today's message has been so valuable. So I hope you can hear me. Okay? But as I was saying, if you're on Facebook, right, and you value in today's message, I hope and pray it is coming across clearly for you. And you know what? There's little star can show some love. Are experts in this area, and that's a niche that you can help others. People will invest and pay for help. I want you to open yourself up, and I really want you to think about some things. What can you offer people that can help generate revenue for you, create products from it? And so think about that. Social media is massive. Everybody's using it, but a lot of people really don't understand how to really fully maximize social media platforms, right? To get the most value out of it. So, nevertheless, I get an email, and what's so funny is they said, okay, by the 25th, you have to finish completing your process, because they invited me in, I guess, with the algorithm, all the videos and stuff that I post, that I can start allowing people to send love, donations, love, to me through, I guess, clicking on the star. So I get this message, and they said you have to complete setting up your process, because we have some monies that we need to send to your account. And I said, what? And it's so funny, because, see, never despise small beginnings. So I had made in contribution $7, right? 7.07. Now, it may not seem like a lot of money, but this is the principle behind it. People saw value in what I was putting out and decided to send me stars. So I looked at it as a win. You got to celebrate the small wins, because small wins turn into medium wins, big wins, gigantic wins. Celebrate the small wins. And at the end of the day, I wasn't looking for it. I don't even really talk about it, but somebody saw value, understood how the system worked, and clicked on the stars, right? And so I thought it was rather interesting. So I'm learning. Yes, I'm learning. Listen, listen. Social media, I am not a master at. I'll tell anybody that at any time. But I do understand the value in it. I do. And I do understand the time it may take to learn and understand it. I am willing. And I'm also willing, and this is the beauty thing about being on in the school community, because I've met so many people around the world that have mastered. Do you hear what I say? They have mastered the art of social media and how to make it work for you, and generating revenue for your IP, your intellectual properties. So why wouldn't I want to connect in these communities to literally be coached by somebody in their area of expertise? Absolutely. So when you join, I'm just giving you access to join my school community. When you join, you have access to all the communities just like me. It depends on where you are and what you want to do. What's your game plan and what do you want to accomplish? Now that's on you. Now, on another note, as we bring this to a close, I want to share what today's Blacks In, you see in my background, the Blacks In calendar is available at blacks-in.com. But what I want to do, I want to talk to you about our Blacks In fact, because I teamed up with Samara Watson to be able to incorporate her Blacks in Morning Brew, giving a Blacks In fact pretty much every day, right? So today, let's see if it comes up without pause, is Madam DJ Walker. So she hasn't populated on the scene, but click her. So let's see if she pops on the screen. Madam Walker is our today. All right, guys. You know, it's happening, but this is not. See, Madam C.J. Walker is our Blacks In fact today. Madam C.J. Walker built a hair care empire by turning her personal challenges into innovative solutions, becoming the first self-made female millionaire in the United States. Listen, challenges. She became a solution to women's problems pertaining to hair. Make sure you go and continue to read more on Madam C.J. Walker. And so much rich history, so much rich history to know. So let me get into pretty much bringing this to a close, since it's been trying to be interrupted throughout the whole segment today. But I want to talk about our reflection questions. I have two reflection questions for you. Everybody can join in on it. One, what have I overcome that could help someone else? What have I overcome that could help someone else? Think about it. Creating intellectual property. Creating intellectual property right out of problem solving. Being a problem solver. Second question, where am I sitting on something that could be built into more? Where am I sitting on something that can be built into more? Those are the two reflection questions I want to leave with you today, to really be able to think about how you can help. One, yourself. Two, paying it forward and helping someone else. Just by answering those two questions. All right, guys. So, yes, it is time. It is time. Let's bring it to a close in our final sip. But, okay, I forget to remove these other. Okay, final sip time. That's where we bring it to a close. It's pretty much a call to action. How you leave out a morning brew for today, right? Before we do, remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. Yes, we're over on TikTok. Morning Brew with Germaine over on TikTok. We will be going live over there. And really, it's only about a 30-minute segment. That's it. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during your lunch break, if you have a few minutes for the spillover conversation. But we really get into a little more details about, centered around bite-sized learning or write, publish, and profit. And then it's really the conversation and what's on people's mind. What are people really dealing with? If you have a few minutes, just stop by quickly and say hi, okay? All right, so let's do our call to action. This is our final sip. So your lived experience is, what did we say? Intellectual property. So when you hear that term IP, understand that's intellectual property. You are walking intellectual property. You may not understand it completely, you may not see it, but the minute you start creating, it becomes your IP, your intellectual property that you can add a value to. And people will pay for it, invest in it. So, what are you creating? Listen, I tell people start with the power of your story. The power of your story can become several forms of intellectual property that has value to it, that you can go structure deals for. It's up to you. Everybody has a story, okay? So don't just go through it, build from it. Do you hear me? Don't just go through it, but build from it. All right. And so understand this, if you're struggling and you're not sure how you can build from it, then once again, in the comments, just click on the school community. You can go right into joining our school community. It costs you to find out information that can help you build. And click on class right to Power of One Strategic Activation. And this might did not wait for opportunity. She created it. And so can you. I hope you're hearing this because my screen is freezing up on me again. So what I like for you to do, like we normally do here, we sip slow, we reflect deep, and we build intentionally. Okay? So with that being said, listen, thank you for sticking with me through all these delays and change up. Has to be a better way, right? Tried to do today, be safe. Okay? And remember, your perspective creates possibility. All right? Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.